What's up, guys? It's Monaco here, and I just completed Madness Unchained on my White Mage. In this video, I kind of want to go over a little bit more strategy-wise with Madness Unchained and show you certain points of the fight with Madness Unchained as a White Mage. This fight is an extreme grind fest as a White Mage. I don't believe that I'm going to be able to make an entire video of this. It took me 30 minutes to do the fight, and I don't believe anybody really wants to watch a 30-minute Madness Unchained fight. So I'm going to pause and play the video at certain points and try and give some commentary on important parts of the fight. So basically, let's go over some real general tips real fast. You want to have a deck that's around a level 110 for this, and the reason I say that is so that you can have a hit point total of somewhere around 3,000. 3,000 seems to be the magic number for this. It allows you to absorb the super big blows and get your hit points back up in a hurry. Now, if you're lucky enough to be missing the water or the fire element, particularly the fire element, you'll probably have a very easy time with this fight because you'll be able to absorb wind seeds to maintain resistances for most of this fight. As is the case, there's a couple of instances where if the boss does a certain move, then I'm going to get one shot, and there's absolutely nothing I can do about it because I don't have enough 4-star cards to maintain a hit point total higher than 3,000. Okay, so those are just some general tips and tricks real fast. I'm going to go ahead and start trying to get into this fight and show you different points. This is my setup real fast. I'm using Fafnir for a break card and a damage card. And then I'm using the Earth Poo Poo mainly for levels, but also to help me with the Earth Boss to absorb Earth blows. And to help me with the Wind Boss to kind of help damage him down faster. I have Drain and Una for heals because I needed the extra survivability with all of this healing. I know it seems like a lot between, my ultimate and these two heals, but trust me, it's needed. It's absolutely necessary. I don't know if there's a different setup that you could use. There probably is, but this is the one that I found success with, so this is what I'm going to use. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into this and start showing you guys this fight. I'll be right back in just a second and show you what I think is an important part of this fight. So stay tuned, guys. Okay, guys, we're kind of halfway through the cockatrice fight right now. Something important to note. The end stone spell combined with drain is giving me quite a lot of hit points back. It's making this a lot easier. This fight is pretty straightforward fight. As long as you're able to absorb his blows, you shouldn't have any problems. You just need to keep your hit points as high as humanly possible, especially if he casts Faith. You really need to watch out for that hover move where he does Faith and then hover and Hurricane Breath. It does around 3,000 hit points so if you don't have your hit points up, there's no way you're going to be able to survive it. I'm going to pause the fight again. We'll come back at a different point in the fight. He just cast, well, there he goes. He just cast Faith. Hold on. So I'm going to cast Drain here and try and get my hit points back up in a hurry. He's going for the hover move. I don't believe I'm going to be able to break him because I don't have End Stone on. So there's a good chance that I'm going to die here. So I just want to show you this. If I get one shot, I get one shot. There it goes. I got one shot. So we're going to try this again. Alright, guys. So this is attempt 2. You'll notice he cast Faith, and this time I kind of planned for it. I was able to bring his break gauge down to somewhere where I could bring it in range for me to break him while he has Faith on when he hovers. You'll notice when he gets back up, he doesn't go immediately back into a hover. Instead, he uses his Faith for other things. Um, and so he doesn't. There's no way he's going to one shot you. He still hits pretty hard, so you got to kind of just keep your hit points up as much as you can, and just try and survive. So as you can see, I pretty much got this particular part of the fight down. As long as I keep my hit points up, there's no way that I'm gonna lose this at this point. So I'm gonna pause this and we'll go on to the next fight. All right, what's up, guys? We're back. So this guy right here does a lot of damage. He hits really hard. He can be challenging, especially if you don't keep your resistances up. So basically, that's the most important thing about this fight. Keep your resistances as high as up at all times. Here's his special move right here, and this is kind of why I wanted to bring you back in at this point. Um, I don't really have any problems beating him unless he does big impact at the wrong time. And you'll note that even with my resistances up, he still did around 1200 hit points. So if you are somebody who doesn't have the ability to put up earth resistances, he's going to do a massive amount of damage, somewhere between 23 to 2500. Okay, so um, as it stands, I kind of saved my heals till after he did his break. I knew he wasn't going to his big move. I knew he wasn't going to one shot me with it. I was just more worried about that particular chain series of events happening. If he does big impact and then immediately follows that up with Stonja, there's absolutely no way you can survive unless you've saved a heal. So that's something to kind of think about in your battle planning strategy. Keep that in mind. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video again, and we'll pick this up here in just a minute. All right, guys, we're back. We're back on the third boss here. This is the standard Lich fight that you guys are all aware of. I'm sure you had to do this fight to beat the game. As a white mage with this setup, basically you want to try and get his break bar down while he's in earth form. Then when he shifts to water form, you use in stone and you kind of chip away at him. Um, there's not a whole lot else you can do um, to kind of deal damage to him. This setup is kind of weak towards anybody who's resistant to water, just because of the card choices that I brought. Now you can fix that by choosing to use the fire break card for mage. I forgot the name of it off the top of my head. So that's something to consider, maybe bringing if you have that available. The only problem with that is it's going to make you a little bit less potent against the last boss. But the last boss is kind of easy anyways. Once you get to this point in the fight, you've pretty much got the fight won as long as you keep your shields up and keep your resistances up. I'm going to go ahead and pause it. You guys should know this fight and should be well aware of it by now. So I'm just going to skip to the end. Alright guys, we're on the last boss. This is a fire water boss. I think I did a brief description of everything that this guy does in my last video. I'll go ahead and show you some of this stuff because I kind of glossed over it on my last video. Okay, so eventually he's going to shift over to water. So basically right here is where, when he's in fire form, you want to do as much damage to his break as possible. Hit him with Blizzard as much as you can while he's in fire form. And then that way when he shifts over to water form, you at least have his break bar blinking and can send him into a break if necessary. So that's basically it, man. Just try and keep your resistances up against this guy. When he casts Ill Omens, like he will eventually at some point, you just make sure that you have your hit points up, your defenses up, and basically everything's in order. He doesn't hit very hard outside of his Ill Omens combination, where he does Ill Omens and then he does a jaw spell. So that's basically all the pointers I have for this guy. I'm going to skip to the end and then I'll finish the video. Alright, guys, so I ended up actually dying. I made a huge error and did not cast Drain when I should have, and as a result, I ended up dying during Ill Omens. Um, you're just gonna have to take my word for it. I really did finish that fight. I'm not trying to pull one over on you guys. It's a very tough fight. For that setup of White Mage, there's probably a more optimal and ideal setup that you could use using 2 damage cards that have been leveled to 4 stars with maybe like Drain and one of the end spells. Um, so that's kind of the Madness Unchained in a nutshell. It's not that hard of a fight. It's not that challenging as long as you're able to keep your hit points up and you have above 3,000. If you really want me to show you a kill with my White Mage, go ahead and leave a comment in below. I can show you a kill if I absolutely have to, but I really don't want to go through that fight again for another 30 minutes. So, anyways, I'm going to go ahead and sign off for now. I hope you guys aren't let down by some of this. I feel kind of bad posting a video where I didn't exactly show you guys where I killed it with White Mage, but it is what it is. So anyways, I hope you guys are enjoying the content. I hope I'm giving out good information. I hope my stammering is improving at least a little bit. I do realize that I have issues with my speech, and that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this. So, anyways, I'll see you guys next time.